complete with fake turf attached to the outside where the paint should be. And there is a barbecue grill built into the truck, which doesn't seem to work so well. So where is the hot tub, you ask? Inside the car. As in, the passenger and driver area is filled with water. How the car's electrical system operates full of water is unknown. It really has to be one of the most insane and ridiculous car modifications there is. Number 5. Tank car. Everyone knows who Jay Leno is, and most people know the guy loves cars, and probably has one of the world's greatest collections. But Jay doesn't just have a bunch of regular cars. He owns some of the most unique and rare cars in the world. One of them is this custom hot rod, which has an 1,800 cubic inch M47 patent tank engine in it. It has a 190-inch wheelbase, which is about 20 feet long, so it's quite a huge hot rod. The tank engine in the car has 990 horsepower, and with 1,600 foot-pounds of torque, the frame had to be reinforced so that the engine wouldn't twist the car in two. And the engine eats about 35 gallons of gas every 80 miles. The body is all aluminum and was hand-hammered into its shape and left without any paint. It goes without saying, it might be the coolest hot rod you will ever see. Number 6. 1969 Camaro SS twin-turbo supercharged nitrous monster. There are a lot of pro street hot rods out there, and if you're familiar with them, you know they can be some of the wildest cars on the planet. Some cars have turbos, and some cars have a supercharger. But what would happen if you used both? And is it possible? This 1969 Camaro Supersport has a Chevy 468 cubic inch big block with two 68mm turbocharger, giving it 14 pounds of boost. But that's not all. The engine also has a supercharger sitting up on top, and if that is not insane enough for you, there's a little 200 horsepower nitrous kit installed in the car. The owner says he has no idea how fast the car is and never had it tested and doesn't care. We're pretty sure it's got enough horsepower that we wouldn't care either. This is one sweet and insane ride that grabs attention. Number 7. 10 color changing heat paint. Well, this one is not technically a car modification, but we thought it was so cool that you might like to check it out. It's called thermochromatic paint. Without getting too technical, these paints use liquid crystals, or lucu dye technology. After the paint absorbs a certain amount of light or heat, the crystallic or molecular structure of the pigment reversibly changes, and it emits light at a different wavelength at lower temperatures. The Joker paint is really cool, or how about having a car with a beautiful bright orange paint, but when cold water touches it, your car's paint turns black. The Lamborghini Captain America is really neat. When the paint is normal temperature, it simply looks like a flat dark black purple. But when cold water hits it, underneath, an awesome paint job. Any of these would be really cool paint to have during a rainstorm on a hot summer day. Imagine the looks on people's faces. We're sure some people might even have their eyes checked for seeing things. Number 8. Insane pipes. Car tuners of all mechanical levels love to make their cars look as cool as possible. And aside from the regular aftermarket stuff that is available, some people just have to go the extra mile to make things as insane as possible. Like a car with two 20-inch tailpipe extensions from the trunk, a Volvo with fun horsepower adding stickers, and 10 exhaust tips. Or how about exhaust tips that reach to the sky? From homemade mufflers and tailpipes, you can be certain that it's been tried. Number 9. Loudest car stereo. Everyone loves a nice sound system in their ride, and there are a lot of cool rides out there with awesome sound systems in them. But for some, that's not good enough in some guys. Back in 2014, one of those systems was known as the loudest in the world that features a Chevy Express van that has over 100 speakers and subwoofers. The vehicle was built by M-Mats Audio, and in the 5-minute video, you don't even need to hear the sound, as you can see everyone's camera vibrating. And the roof of the building next to this incredible sound system was vibrating. This thing has a ton of batteries to power everything, and we're fairly certain you might lose an eardrum hanging around this thing too long. It's not known if this is still the record holder, so if you know of something louder, then let us know about it in the comments. Number 10. Ghost Driver. Imagine driving down the road, and you notice a truck driving along next to you, but there's no one inside. At first, you might be thinking that this is one of those autonomous self-driving vehicles, but it's not. Instead, this is the genius idea of some guys in Dubai who wanted to give tourists an unobstructed view of the city as they were being driven around. This Nissan Patrol had everything that the driver needs moved to the back.
I love this dude.
So the steering wheel, dash cluster, and even the brake and gas pedals were moved to the backseat area where the driver can control. And of course, the windows are tinted so it looks like no one is driving, and apparently is nicknamed the Ghost Driver. The inside is really cool with small screens built into the dash for both passengers sitting in the front, and the driver has everything he needs in the back. The only thing we wonder about is the driver's field of vision. With that said, would you like to be driven around in this? And would you feel safe with the driver in the back? We hope you enjoyed the video. Which one of these do you think was the most insane? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked the video, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when a new video arrives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Most insane car modification. Ah, the automobile. Such a cool machine, and there are so many things you can do to a car or a truck to make it much cooler. With all the cool aftermarket accessories out there that almost anyone can bolt on, there are a lot of nice cars out there. But for some, the normal modifications just aren't good enough for them. Ever seen a car with enough power to beat a fighter jet in a race? Or a car with a pool table built into it? Then you've seen nothing yet. Check out some of these most insane car modifications. Audi TT Bodoh. This car has been called an unsung hero, and what Audi did to this TT is a bit insane, and they were looking to see how fast they could push this car. So back in 2007, Audi put in a pair of tuned 1.8-liter turbo engines with an output of 370 brake horsepower, which gives the car the ability to grab 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 3.7 seconds. But that's not all. MTM engineers said that the engines could be upgraded to 501 brake horsepower, which would give this little car 1,002 brake horsepower. And what better way to test out the speed of a car than to have it race against an F4 Phantom fighter jet? We know what you're thinking. There's just no way this car could beat a fighter jet in a race. But it did, as you can clearly see it passing the jet on the runway. No one is sure what happened to this car, or if it even still exists, but that's one fast TT, and one crazy modified machine. Number 2. Car Boat. If you didn't catch the episode of Top Gear, the host built some homemade amphibious cars to make an attempt at crossing the channel to France. 2 vehicles were built, one being some type of van boat, and the other just looks like a Nissan pickup truck. And there is no way that thing is going to be seaworthy, right? Never judge a book by its cover. The van boat, which looked a lot more seaworthy in the beginning, ended up springing a leak and then capsizing, leaving its crew in the drink. The Nissan truck, on the other hand, stays afloat, and when it looks like there's no chance it's going to make it, surprises a bunch of people on the beach. In fact, it's just too crazy watching this truck navigate through the water like a boat. Too bad they don't know how to land the thing. But after making a lot of noise, they finally get the Nissan out of the water. Well, thanks to a tow truck. Number 3. Pool table car. Just when you think you've seen everything, someone comes along and does the unthinkable, like taking an old 2000 Chevy Monte Carlo, cutting off the roof, and building a pool table onto the back. And of course, one of the first things you do is see how fast you can go with a pool table car after it's built. And they got up to 100 miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour. When you're ready to pull over and play some pool, the suspension moves up and down electronically. The table itself detaches from the car, so you can walk all the way around to make shots, and anywhere the car can park, you can play pool. It also has a TV, electric dartboard, refrigerator, and a high-end sound system. Apparently, you can also rent this car in case you want to surprise someone that loves billiards just as much as you do. Imagine rolling up to a block party in this thing. California is full of very strange cars, but the pool table car is probably one of the craziest. Number 4. Colin Furze BMW Hot Tub. Some things are meant to be a joke, And we're sure the idea for a BMW that is also a hot tub is. But this just isn't some car with a hot tub built into the back. Instead, the idea behind it was to turn it into a backyard